You are scrolling brokerage listings right now, and the same thing keeps showing up. Late model saltwater boats, 1 season old, prices dropping every 30 days. Owners are quietly and desperately trying to get out. A 2022 center console. A 2023 offshore convertible. A 2021 walkaround. All listed within the first 2 years of ownership. These are from buyers who were posting grip and grin photos 6 months ago, saying, living the dream. Now they are out. And the question your brain is asking is the right one. What do they know that I do not? Today we are going to break down exactly why saltwater boat returns are exploding in 2026. And at the end, I will give you a 5-step filter to run before you ever sign a purchase agreement. The market inversion. Here is what you have to understand first. What is happening right now is not a soft patch. It is not seasonal noise. It is a structural correction that was always inevitable the moment the pandemic anomaly ended. Between 2020 and 2023, the marine market operated under conditions that have no historical parallel. Supply chains collapsed. New build lead times stretched to 18 and 24 months. Demand exploded because people suddenly had money, time, and a biological need to be outside and away from other people. The result was a used boat market that defied every rule of asset depreciation. Hulls with 4,000 engine hours were trading above the original manufacturer's suggested retail price. That has never happened in the history of recreational marine, and now the reversal is fully underway. According to the National Marine Manufacturers Association, new retail boat unit sales fell 8.8% in 2025, totaling just over 215,000 units compared to 236,000 the year before. That is 5 consecutive years of declining new sales. The Boats Group 2025 Market Index, which covers Yacht World, Boat Trader, and Boats.com, reported global boat sales fell 9% by unit volume in 2025. Average days on market in North America hit 209 days in 2025, up 37 days from 2024. In specific segments, large diesel convertibles in the 55 to 70 foot range, boats are sitting for 280 to 340 days. Nearly a full year at the dock, bleeding dockage, insurance, and maintenance, while the asking price gets carved down month after month. The sellers who are still anchored to what they paid in 2022 are finding zero takers. The correction is here, and it is pricing everything for reality instead of fantasy. The second force behind the exit wave is what industry insiders call the hidden cost ambush. It hits buyers in the same predictable way every single time. Most first-time saltwater boat buyers plan around 2 numbers, the purchase price and the monthly payment. That is it. The rest they assume will work out. It does not. Start with the purchase itself. In Florida, where a massive volume of United States saltwater transactions happen, buyers face sales tax and fees that drain cash reserves before the boat clears the dock for the first time. Then comes the depreciation hit. New boats can lose 15 to 25% of their value in year 1 alone, the moment they transition from new to used status. On a $500,000 boat, that is up to $125,000 of equity gone before the first season ends. Then come the recurring costs. The industry rule of thumb, confirmed by Bankrate, Boat Trader, and every major marine financial resource, is to budget 10% of the vessel's purchase price every single year for operating and ownership costs. On a $500,000 boat, that is $50,000 per year, every year, without anything breaking. Marina fees, haul-out costs, bottom paint, engine service intervals, outboard impellers, upholstery replacement, electronics updates, insurance premiums climbing every renewal cycle. And that is the baseline before anything fails. Most new owners built their financial plan around the loan payment. The bills arrived and the math collapsed. That is the single most common reason behind the exit listings you are seeing right now. The engine hour trap. For buyers looking at older diesel-powered sport fishers in the 55 to 70-foot range, there is a specific financial ambush hiding inside almost every listing right now. The high-horsepower twin diesel inboards that power these platforms, Caterpillar C32s, MTU Series 2000 variants, MAN 5/8s, have a documented service life of approximately 8,000 to 10,000 hours under proper maintenance. The boats currently flooding the brokerage market frequently have between 3,500 and 5,500 hours on each engine, often with service records showing deferred maintenance during the pandemic years when yards were overwhelmed and parts lead times stretched for months. Here's the math every informed buyer is running. A full twin repower on a 65-foot Sportfisher can run $300,000 to $400,000 when you factor parts and installation labor together. Parts alone for a match set of high-horsepower replacement diesels cost between $160,000 and $240,000. Installation, including engine alignment, exhaust integration, and electronic controls, adds significant cost on top of that per engine. A boat listed at $950,000 with engines that need replacement within 3 years is not a $950,000 boat. The informed cash buyer knows this math cold and negotiates accordingly. They are not making emotional offers. The financing wall. The buyer pool for large diesel saltwater boats has been fundamentally cut down by a market that has repriced the financing risk. Marine lenders that previously financed vessels up to 20 years of age have compressed their risk parameters. Boats over 15 years old with high-hour diesel inboards now routinely require 30 to 40% down payments when financing is available at all. According to LendingTree, the average boat loan rate as of the fourth quarter of 2025 was 8.4%. On a $900,000 boat requiring 40% down, the buyer must bring $360,000 to closing before the first payment. The monthly payment on the financed balance at current rates approaches $6,000. That math eliminates the aspirational buyer entirely. The person who built a career, saved a down payment, and wanted to step into offshore sport fishing at the highest level often cannot qualify. What remains is the cash buyer. And the cash buyer in this environment has all the leverage. They are not competing against financed offers. They have no deadline pressure. They can offer 30% below asking, walk away, and come back 90 days later to the same boat still sitting at the same dock. Sellers who have been carrying a boat for 11 months with $100,000 in accumulated carrying costs understand the arithmetic. The deals that are closing at discounts that would have been unthinkable in 2022. Obsolescence is now priced in. A diesel Sportfisher built in 2005 was state-of-the-art in 2005. In 2026, its electronics package is a liability in the survey and a daily operational problem. Helm electronics on a 20-year-old Sportfisher typically include chart plotters, radar, and autopilot systems running software that manufacturers stopped supporting 8 to 12 years ago. Replacement parts for legacy systems from that era are increasingly difficult to source. Modern integrated helm networks connecting propulsion monitoring, navigation, fishing electronics, and communications into a unified display architecture cannot interface with legacy electrical infrastructure without a full rewire. A helm electronics refit on a 60-foot Sportfisher runs $35,000 to $75,000 depending on scope. Stabilization is the second gap. Modern boats in this size class are increasingly expected to carry gyroscopic stabilizers. Seakeeper, the dominant manufacturer in this space, has moved beyond its original 9 model to the Seakeeper 10.5, designed for 50 to 62-foot vessels, retailing at $124,900 before installation. Installation on a vessel not originally built to accept a gyroscope requires structural modification, a significant additional yard expense. Buyers who have run modern stabilized platforms are not returning to an unstabilized boat. That preference is now a hard valuation. Penalty: the market is pricing in real time. The next thing will save you lots of time and money, but first subscribe and check out our guide in our bio so you never make a mistake again. Run this on any saltwater boat before you make an offer. You will know in 60 seconds whether you are about to make a financial mistake or a legitimate move. Step 1. Total cost reality. Take the purchase price and multiply it by 10%. That is your annual operating floor, not including your loan payment. If that number disrupts your financial plan on top of the monthly payment, the boat is too expensive for you, regardless of what the listing says. Step 2. Engine hour audit. Pull the service records on every engine before you make an offer. Get a compression test and an oil analysis performed by an independent surveyor. If the engines are within 2,000 hours of their service ceiling, factor the full repower cost into your offer before you write a number. Step 3. Financing reality check. Get pre-qualified before you fall in love with a specific boat. Understand the down payment requirement for the age and condition of that hull. Financing should match the boat, not the other way around. If you cannot qualify for financing, you are competing as a cash buyer against others, and that is a completely different negotiation. Step 4. Electronics and systems audit. Run every piece of helm electronics against current manufacturer support status. Identify every system that is obsolete or unsupported and price the refit before you make an offer. Do not let the seller's asking price set your anchor. Your anchor is the asking price minus every deferred capital event you have identified. Step 5. Lifestyle honesty. The saltwater dream sold on YouTube and Instagram is a heavily edited version of a much harder reality. If you have never run a boat of this size and complexity offshore in real conditions, charter the same model for a full week before signing anything. Most regret comes from buyers who committed to a lifestyle they never actually tested. The 2026 saltwater market is not the death of offshore boating. It is the overdue return of asset gravity. The bubble priced everything for fantasy. The correction is pricing everything for reality. And for the buyer who does the homework right now, who runs the numbers and does not flinch from what they find, this market is the best buying opportunity in 2 decades. The boats are there, the prices are moving. The question is whether you did the work before the check clears. Subscribe so you do not miss the next breakdown of the real economics of saltwater ownership.